Can you hear me? I see you on there. I wasn't sure if you could hear me or not. Hoping you do. Okay, cool. Hey, David. This is the first time I'm going live, so I'm checking my microphones. I don't know. Can you see me on your end? I guess you can, right? Stupid question. Yeah, I'm trying to figure this all out. So, cool. So it might be a short night. I'm not quite sure how many people will show up. Um, so I see 3 people. Cool. That third person is probably me. Um, so how? Hey, Jason, how you doing? Cool. All right, I'm just on the phone, so I think I've got to get an external mic for the cam or for the computer too. So I need to mess with that, kind of experiment with that. So I decided I'd do it on the phone tonight and see you guys. So I'm not sure what kind of delay we have. It might be like 30 seconds, something like that. But I hope everybody's doing well. And I thought we'd probably do this maybe from 9 to 10 or something like that. Not crazy long because it is my first time doing this. And I know I've promised people for a long time that I would. Um, so I so you're at 9:03. Let me check and see what I have here. So I got 5 minutes going here, kind of in my office. But yep, it's the same time. Okay, so I looked on the computer. Um, right, same here. I'm in North Carolina too. So I think most of our friends of the channel are in North Carolina because I cover mostly North Carolina. Eventually, we hope to expand that to other places for you guys. Um, I did 3 videos today, and one of them will actually be up tonight after I'm done here. I know a lot of you like the vintage toy places, and so I went down to LT Toys today, and that should be up after this, and so you'll see that. And yeah, the chat is not going to be fancy, no fireworks and stuff. I just want to say hi to everybody. Um, I'm not sure if I've run into you guys at any time. Please let me know. And if you haven't, and you see me, come up to me and Connie. I always tell people that to make sure you guys come up to us and say hello because we love meeting everybody. So yeah, the channel's kind of slowed down just a little bit. I'm just hoping we can get to 10,000 next month. That's the hope anyway. Um, with your guys' support, and we love you guys. So it's been very important to us to bring you stuff and just content and actually exploring places that a lot of people don't know about here in North Carolina, South Carolina. And I hope to head over. I did one video. It's almost been 2 years now. I did Gatlinburg, and my brother used to live in Sevierville. He doesn't live there anymore. He's down actually in Conway, South Carolina now. But I would have loved if he was up there because I love that area of the Smokies is Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, Sevierville, and oh, cool. Hey, Brian, how you doing? Good to see you. Oh, yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, we try to bring things to people that they haven't been to stuff. Um, I've got some other plans coming up, and I actually went by Chester today, coming back home from Columbia. So yeah, I went right by there today, and there's a couple small towns I want to pick up there that I was seeing on the highway near Chester. Oh, you live in Raleigh? Cool, awesome, Brian. Connie's sister lives in Durham, so she goes up there at least once a month to see her, and I love that area. I need to go do the museum in in Raleigh. They have some great museums up there, and they allow you to film. I think most museums they do, so because it's your taxpayer dollars. So yeah, do any of you guys watch Carpetbagger by chance? I've been watching him. He lives up in Waynesville, and he was actually just in Raleigh, did the museum in there in Raleigh, and I was like, that is a cool museum. You want to get back to Western North Carolina? Which part of Western North Carolina you want to go to? You're in Richburg, Jason. Okay, nice. I'm just watching you guys flashing up with your messages. Yeah, did he make it down to Key West? Okay. Yeah, I know. Connie and I were watching the one of him in Disney because I don't know if most of you know, I'm actually from Florida originally, down in Fort Myers, but I've lived here. We moved up here in '75. I was like 8, going on 9, so I've been here, yeah, 50 years now. It's crazy. So it's been a long time. You're in Hickory Granite area, okay? Yeah, I love that area too. They've done a lot of great work in Hickory. It's amazing what they've done downtown, and I just wish a lot of small towns would do that. We were just in Newton recently. If you saw the festival there, I'm just amazed what they've done to downtown Newton. It looks great. They fixed all the sidewalks up, all the buildings. People are moving back in. Businesses are coming alive, and yeah, this definitely a place I recommend you guys visit if you haven't been to Newton. Good town. Now, if the spot is there, it's a gaming slash toy store. So if you haven't been there, definitely go there. It's really cool. It's called The Spot. And I've actually known the guys there for 5 or 6 years now. And it's a really cool store. But they've got coffee shops, quaint little restaurants. It's funny because the owner of one, if you watch the video at the very end, there was one restaurant we walked into. We filmed it there just for a few minutes because they were packed and there was a waiting. And then they watched the video and they sent us a message. We want you to come back and see our restaurant and film in there. I was like, definitely, yeah. The small towns are great. We've got Taylorsville coming up. I'm going to try to get that out tomorrow. We went there. Great antique shops are all through there. Definitely check that place out too. It's slowly but surely coming back to life. There's a lot of businesses that have closed in Taylorsville. It's kind of a foothill town. It's, I believe, west of Lenoir. Or it might be east of Lenoir. But it's in that area near Hickory and Lenoir. I've been through it. I don't think I've filmed in Laurinburg. I always have to look back and see if I've been there or not. I've been through Laurinburg. It's that whole area is really nice. I want to go up to Eden too, and film up there, that area. And I actually almost went up there today, up in the Eden area. Is it east of Lenoir? Okay. Okay, I can't remember if it was east or west of Lenoir, but Taylorsville is a small little town, but quaint. And they've done a great job with the park in town. And what was funny is when we did the festival in Newton, we went to Taylorsville, and there was this massive car show, and I missed the whole thing. They were off to the right, and then I was like, we didn't have time to go there. It was a huge car show. They closed St. Andrew College. Oh, that's too bad. Was it like that sounds like St. Andrew's been there for a long time, right? It's been there for, let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so too. That'd be cool to turn to something else. At least, in Belmont, they had an old mill there, and they turned into really nice apartments, and they've got a coffee shop down on the first floor. So I like that they're doing stuff like that. There's one in Kings Mountain, or not Kings Mountain, Bessemer City. That's an old mill that they're turning into the same thing, apartments and retail at the bottom. So I love that they're doing that to the old mills. And then there's some places where people are going in together and they're turning a lot of the old mills into shops, which is great. A lot of that's happening in Columbia. When I was down there in Columbia, South Carolina, I love that they're not tearing the old structures down. They're refurbishing them and keeping those alive and keeping those going. And last year when we were doing our taxes, it's like I put on. Oh, thank you, sir, very much. Thanks, Gamers Alley. Those are my buddies. Actually, know everybody there. So thanks, guys. We really appreciate it. Yeah, I was about to say on our There we go. Um, we put 21,000 miles on the car, and I'm actually got to bring it in the shop in the morning and get it. There's a sensor light or check engine lights on. It's solid, which it means it's not your car's not going to die on you. It just means you need to get looked at. So tomorrow we got to get a diagnostic done to it, and Connie and I are both our cars are due in May for inspection, taxes, and all that stuff. So we got to bring that in to get it looked at in the morning. And I'll probably when I come home, leaving the car there, I'll come home and I've got 5 videos I have to edit, and I was up really late last night editing a video, and time just flies by when I'm editing, and so I've got 5 videos I've got to edit for you guys, and a lot of fun videos. Went to a few more antique places today as well down in Columbia that I didn't know exist. So I just I get on my phone, and when I'm in a certain area that I know I'm filming, and then I want to look on there, and I'll look at places close by that would be cool to also bring to you. And these antique places are really cool. One's called Refine Antique Mall, and the other one is Red Lion Antique Mall. So they're both really cool, and so I'll have that, guys, for you guys. Oh, there's Statue. Hey, Statue, how you doing? Good to have you aboard here. One of the best places to congregate. Hold on one second. Let me bring your comment related to statues, north, south. I got to do a video for you guys on that. There are so many places. Believe it or not, of course, Gamer Alley, like I frequent quite a bit, have a lot of statues. There's also Rebel Based Comics and Toys that have a lot of comic statues, and even Shelton's place, Heroes Aren't Hard to Find in Charlotte, has a bunch of statues. He's mainly comics, but he does still have statues. And there's a place in Matthews. It's nickel and dime something. I have to look it up, but if you get on my Facebook, I'm going to start posting stuff on there for you guys that you can find. It's Todd Venture on Facebook, and join that too, because sometimes I'll post pictures that you won't see on YouTube or video stuff. I'll have it on Facebook, so I'll have information on there, and sometimes I'll post things to look for and things to do. And I'm also on Instagram. It's Todd Venture on Instagram, so look for that too, because I post stuff on there quite a bit as well. So you can find cool pictures. I'll post pictures of myself in costume and fun things like that you can. I used to do tons of cosplay, and I started as a kid in theater, so because my parents were entertainers, so I loved being different characters, things like that. Hey, Beetle Brad, how you doing? Was it a scale train show that they had there? I did the tractor show a couple weeks ago. Connie and I love going up there. I just try to spread out as much as I can to bring you guys different things. So there's the few car shows are coming up that I'll be doing there in Spencer. I hate that they closed Little Choo Choo. That was such a cool scale train hobby shop. And what was funny about that hobby shop, they also carried Gundam, and I didn't expect that when I walked in there, but they had all kinds of, Robotech stuff, Gundam stuff, and I was just there to look at the trains, but I was like, that's pretty cool that they have the Gundam models there. But yeah, I just hate that they closed down. Oh, was it HO scale? Yeah, sorry I missed that. I wish I could have gotten that. I went down to South Carolina today and did a few videos down there. I'm not sure if I'm filming tomorrow just because the car will be in the shop, but I do want to get the other videos out that I have on standby that I build up. And like I said, I probably have 5 altogether. I did another one at Vintage Village. That's been sitting there. I need to get that out for you guys. I love going there. It's a cool little antique place in Gastonia. Also go back to Gaston Pickers, but I will find more of those stores um, that have statues for you, so we can find those. But those right off the bat, that's what I could think of that would have those Gamers Alley, um, Rebel Basin comics, and I'm just trying to remember the place. There's one in Matthews. He sells comic books and some toys, but he's got tons of statues. And shoot, I would just at that point I would probably would just Google. Let that fan's not bother you, making you get like dizzy. I'm kind of in my office, so I've got to get a microphone. I was going to do it on the computer, but I need to get a microphone for that. That's great planning, right? But I might get a headset, stuff like that, and talk through that. But the phone will be fine for right now. And like I said, I'm gonna let me plug it in here. I don't want to lose power. There we go. But yeah, I love doing this for you guys. It's all about sharing. Cool, Jason. I appreciate it. Yeah, and also you can, if you get on Facebook, check and I think you can post things or just send me a message, and I can find out more information for you about things like that, and I'll post them there on Facebook if you have any questions on stuff. And also on Instagram, just send me a message, and I'll get that information for you, and I can send it to you through Instagram, through the Todd Venture Instagram site. Definitely send messages to me. I appreciate that, and I'll check that. I regularly check that all the time. Stuff are always popping up for me. So there we go. When I was a kid, I did a lot of traveling, and I had friends that always wished I could take with me to go see the things that my parents would take me and my brothers to. So I think that kind of inspired me to do stuff like this, to share things with you. And I know there's a lot of people who can't make the events I go to. And so they vicariously will watch the videos through Connie and I. And I remember when Connie was really shy about she never wanted to get on the camera. Now she loves it because people, they recognize her, and they ask for her more than they would ask for me. So if I'm out and about by myself, they'll say, "Hey, Todd," and I'll talk to them. Where's Connie? So she likes the attention, I think. And also check out our merchandise if you have time to check that out. We got some cool designs coming up. I did a toy one because I collect the toys and vintage toys. Got one of my silicone masks right here behind me. No, I appreciate it, Beetle. That's awesome. Yeah, we try our best, and she's done a great job. She's done her own video once, and that's when we went to we went to the Greek festival last year, and might have been the year after that, but you were 2 years ago. No, it was this last year. We did the Yazoo Festival, the Greek festival here, and I gave the camera to Connie. I said, I want you to go ahead and do your own video, and I'm just going to tag along. And she did a great job, and I hope she would do more of that. Hey, Josh, how you doing? It's good to see you. Thanks for joining us. We got 13 people. Yay, that's awesome. So, yeah, check out our merchandise out. I might just put some funny stuff up for T-shirts and sweatshirts, things like that, and they also have coffee mugs, and even just getting a sticker to slap on your window or something would be kind of fun on your laptop. I just try to make it fun for everybody, and helps us out too. So a little bit here and there does help us out quite a bit. We love entertaining. Hey, Tony, how you doing? Hey, we appreciate it. Yeah, we're gonna do some more. We'll do some more car shows for sure. It's summertime, and we love hitting the car shows. I've got my '66 in the driveway. Well, Mad Jax, I need to do a video on him because I've gone there several times, and he wanted me to come in and do a video, and I need to do that. It's something nickel and dime. Oh, the peddler nickel and dime shop. It's right at one of the major intersections, right close to it in Matthews, and I'm just trying to. It's the nickel shop or something like that. It's got like the old fashioned name of the penny and nickel shops that but he's got all kinds of the statues in there right when you walk in. But it's right down the road from Max if you're headed towards Charlotte. It's right off Monroe Road, but it's more going the opposite direction. Um, yeah, he's a super guy, nice guy. Oh, I will definitely, John. Yeah, yeah. I got to go down. I need to walk around Gastonia downtown. Because Jimmy's got his place down there, Back in Time Collectibles. And actually, I spoke to Jimmy recently. We're gonna, because I don't know if you saw the video of us doing the DeLorean, his time machine. That was a lot of fun, and he does have an Optimus Prime. He's got the flat nose Mac, the original version of Optimus Prime. We need to do a ride on that too. Oh, when you watch Adam, yeah, Adam and I we text each other every now and then. We'll text each other out of the blue. He sent me an Instagram message, and we were talking about a couple things coming up for him, and but he's real busy right now. He is slam busy. Um, I'm trying to watch all the trying to watch all the messages coming up. Sorry, I'm just going through them. Oh, okay, yes, did you get 30 comics there? I will be at Heroes Con, so look for me there. If you see me, be sure to. Connie comes with me on that too, so be sure to grab us and say hello if you want to get a. I might put you in the video too, and I'll do that to a lot of people. I'll embarrass them. No, they love it. So we ran into a couple at the festival recently, the Foothills Folk Art Festival, which is a lot of fun. If you see that, try to make it next year and go to that. A lot of amazing people are there and artists. And that one guy who made the wooden hats, wow! And there were a couple guys there wearing them, and they're pretty comfortable. They had their padding, of course, in it, but they're each one he does is one of a kind. So if you see him, check his booth out. I'm not sure what other festival he does, but that's the one where the only place I've ever seen him and seen his. He also does the wooden pottery out of wooden bowls. Beautiful work. They had a lot of artists there like that, but okay. So okay. It's exactly. It's right down the street. But yeah, but definitely if you're going to Heroes Con, we'll be there. Connie and I will be there. I've known Shelton since about 78 is when I first met him at the Metrolina Fairgrounds flea market. Now, if you guys remember that years ago, then he had his shops on Central Avenue. Now he's kind of close to 7th Street now. Shelton has his place there. But I remember when he had a bunch of shops. He had like 10 places scattered about in North Carolina. But yeah, and then I started going to his con at Eastland Mall. Great con. They were small, but of course you outgrew it. Then it was, I don't know if you guys know Rick Fortenberry, Rick and Dave, who put on the Charlotte Comic Con. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. Hit the like button, guys. Um, it was fun. I forget to say that in my videos. A lot of people say you need to remind people to subscribe to your videos, and sometimes I'm remembering now a lot better to say that in the videos. I sometimes I just don't say because I don't want to bother anybody. If they want to subscribe and they like Connie and I enough, they'll do it. But I think sometimes I got to let people know, hey, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe to us. Yeah, because one couple had thought that if you they don't subscribe to anybody, but they finally subscribed to me because I had to kind of explain to them that if you subscribe, it does not like instantly. You don't get like emails and stuff. The only thing that happens is that it knows what you're interested in, depending on what videos you watch. That's why your ads in the videos come up a certain way. If I go to a car show and I watch car show videos, thus the ads will come up for cars. So yeah. Hey, Shannon Tom, how you doing? Good to see you. Oh, okay, yeah, at the Ren Fair. We'll be there. We're going to be there. So, We didn't go to Georgia this year. We just didn't have it in the plans. But yeah, we love the Ren Fair. So that's another thing I suggest people go to the Ren Fair if you don't have anything going on. But also call ahead of time and get your tickets because nowadays they have a limit, I think, on amount of people. I don't think they go by that too much because every time I've gone there, it seemed like it was still, even pre-COVID, it was still the same amount of people, thousands going in on the weekends to the Ren Fair. So it's a lot of fun. We love going in costume because I was saying earlier about cosplay. We just love doing that. If you get on our Facebook, subscribe to that because I'll post pictures of our costumes of other characters that I've done, and yeah, check those out. Hey, Robert, how you doing? Doing good here. I saw you went to the park down in Rock Hill, so I need to do that too. I love parks. And people love watching the parks. We need to do that too. I'm trying to do my best to. Oh, there's Nate. Hey, Nate, what's going on? So that's awesome. You guys are coming on here. Yeah, it is a lot of fun. The Ren Fair, the shows are amazing. The food is really good. The only thing I wish is that they, like Georgia Ren Fair, I wish they had more on the menu at Carolina. I love Carolina, and I wish they had a water feature like Georgia does. It's a big fountain or something just to give that ambiance and add more character to the Ren Fair there. Yeah, Josh. Yeah, you're right. I need to do more restaurants. Actually, the Spanish place we went to, one of our last ones, is right down the road from us. Is excellent. I'm trying to remember the name of it, but it was really good. But I do need to hit more restaurants. The only thing that I won't do, and Connie and I actually talked about this tonight. You will not see me put food in my mouth. I don't want to gross you guys out. Connie doesn't either. We get kind of embarrassed about that. Yeah, I do need to do that too. South Carolina Comic Con, definitely. I was actually going to try to hit it this year, but again, it's just I need to plan way in advance for those type of things. I used to go to Dragon Con quite a bit, and I know Adam when I used to go in the early '90s. The last time I went to Dragon Con was 2017 was the last year. So I did both Star Wars Celebration and I did Dragon Con. Oh, you like how I do it? You like how I end it? Yeah, I give you my food review at the end. If you see an empty plate, you know it was good. I'll tell you if I come across some bad food, I'll let you know. But you will not see me eat food. There's some other YouTuber friends that I have, like they'll do food reviews, but Connie and I were like, I don't want to see you put the food in your mouth, nasty. You know, I don't want to see you like take a fork and shove it in your mouth. I won't do that. I'll show it to you. You know, I put it on my fork and I'll say, hey, you know, this looks great, doesn't it? The next shot you see, it's either an empty plate or of course I'm going to tell you what it tastes like and how good it is. But yeah, you don't need to see that. I'll edit that out. You don't want to see me shoving food in my mouth. Yeah, no. To make everybody hungry. I'll show you the food in its state on the plate, but I won't show it in my mouth. Let me see what we got here. Oh, now you're going to is that part of your driving the truck up there? Or is that just a family thing? You're going up to Pennsylvania to visit? Yeah, I'm the same way, Beetle. And I love these people who I watch, but it's just when they sit down to eat food, show me your food. I don't mind. I can see it on the fork. I don't need to see you cramming the food in your mouth. Connie doesn't like seeing me do it, and I don't watch her eating her food. We're just, we enjoy it. We'll say, hey, how's your food? And it's great. So, when is that? Is there when is that jazz festival coming up, Robert? Is that coming up pretty soon? Oh, definitely. Yeah, Josh, I will. I'll yeah, you won't see me cramming food in my mouth. What type of food do you like? What type of food do you eat? Because we enjoy everything. I'm a big sushi freak. I love Japanese food, and yeah, I love that. Oh, was it tonight? There was so much going on this weekend that I couldn't decide what to do. All right, Beetle. Thanks for stopping by for sure. We appreciate it. Um, I love Italian food too because I'm half Italian. I'm Scotch Irish and Italian. Um, my dad's side is mainly Scottish and Irish. And then mom's side is Italian. Yeah, my great grandparents came over on the boat pretty much. See you later. So yeah, they came over. God, in the turn of the century, like 1900s, and had their kids here up in New Hampshire in that area, New England. Rock and roll sushi uptown. Okay, because we go to Ruson's, and Ruson's just down the road from us, and I love their lunch specials. They have great lunch specials of sushi at Ruson's, and but when COVID hit and they took the sushi buffet away, we were devastated. But I understand why, because sushi can go to waste too if you make so much of it. But the other place we went to a lot, it was Saigon Palace. We still go there, but they had on a Sundays they used to have a buffet. I would have loved to cover that, but I'm definitely going to cover Ruson's, so you guys can see what Ruson's all about because we I just love sushi. Oh, Oreo's doing good. I was wondering about that. Hey, Robert H. Hope you're doing good. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, we saw about your dog. Yeah, wow. We were pretty scared for her. Hey, Christine. Good question. Wow. Well, it started for me. It started in theater. I grew up in theater pretty much all my life, and my mom, she made costumes too. She was an actress, but she loved getting sewing and making costumes and doing makeup, things like that. So she would do that for us when we were kids. And then she made her Halloween costumes, and she would make period stuff. All my brothers, I've got, well, I had four older brothers. I haven't really done a video about them, but she made like Three Musketeers outfits for them. This is when I was real little, and she always made fun costumes for me, like monkey costumes and scary vamp. I was always a vampire or Dracula, and I just loved wearing costumes and getting the attention. I think, and then I did a lot of theater growing up and drama. Went to the North Carolina School of the Arts, and yep, Needless Toys. We love going there, but so yeah, that's how I got into dressing up. And then we went to the Ren Fair when it first started. It was like, oh, 28, 29 years ago now. It's been a while. Ren Fair has been going on here for a long time now. In the first couple of years, we didn't dress up. And then we just started slowly but surely getting stuff there because I really never got into hand making stuff. Connie didn't either. But we knew friends who could do that, so they would make things for us. And then we just started going online. And one of the best places, and for the money and what you get and the quality you get, if you ever check out Medieval Collectibles, great site to go to if you're looking for some great costuming stuff. They cover steampunk, of course, medieval. They cover pirate uh, costumes, Renaissance costumes, medieval, Vikings, things like that. So check them out because I get a lot of my stuff from them, and I've got friends who are now getting from them as well because we don't have time to make that stuff, but we love wearing it, and it's really fun. And then but I've been wearing kilts for eons, so I've got about 5 or 6 kilts. And if you saw my past videos at Ren Fair, I wear my kilt quite a bit. It was funny, we missed the the Highland Games. We just missed that, but we're hoping we'll probably hit it next year because we used to hit that quite a bit. And but that's how we got into it. My nephew, he got married out there back in I want to say 2005, 2006, around there. Why is it so expensive? Mead. Um, it takes time to make, and the ingredients they use for mead, it's probably why it's expensive. It's time consuming to make it, and I think the ingredients for that is, yeah, it's not like beer where you got to be on top of. Because I had a friend make mead once, and I remember she said she it's time consuming, and I knew that she had to stay on top of that and watch it quite a bit. So yeah, that's probably why it's expensive. It's just time consuming to make. So yeah. Okay, you went there to drop a load off of there. Um, I'm just trying to see everybody's questions and stuff. Yeah, and I was talking to statue too. Yeah, Needless is great. It was a lot of fun. It's always fun going there and seeing the guys there. They still do the Highland Games. Yeah, they still do the Highland Games. The only problem with that is the month you just pointed out. It can get hot um, up there. So that's I believe that's the biggest Highland Games in the United States. Is that one? It's pretty huge. I mean, you get to take shuttle up the mountainside to get to the actual games. I don't know if you know this, Christine. I actually did Shakespeare in the festival here. I was actually an actor doing Shakespeare. So a long time ago. That was in the late '80s in the Charlotte Shakespearean Festival. I think they still do it. Got a few friends who participated in that and then that they went to North Carolina School of the Arts with me, and I also went to film school up there too. There actually was an in-house actor for them, and I've done voiceovers, things like that. But um, those are a lot of fun. I do always love when people go to the Shakespearean festivals. It's really a great part of culture to learn and the art of that. What Shakespeare did for the arts. Throughout history. Let's see. Well, Brattonville. Yep, Josh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They filmed Patriot up in that area. I had a few friends work on that. I worked on Last of the Mohicans, and I died 7 times in that. Yep. So it was funny because I was invited to do, I believe, the 30th anniversary. It's hard to believe it's been that long ago, but that was like 5 years ago. They had a whole festival they did um, up there in Morganton. They had a 30th anniversary of people who worked on that. I wasn't able to make it, but I was up there a couple weeks before that, and I was at the History Museum, and they told me all about that. And what film school did I go to? I went to North Carolina School of the Arts up in Winston. They started that school in, I think, around 1990 is when they, or 91, around that period. And so I went there. I was actually one of their actors. So what would happen is they had all the directors, and you would go and sit in front of all the student directors. And I think a couple of them went on to do big things. Can't name offhand, but we go in by ourselves, and they'd all be sitting in these bleachers in this auditorium. And oh yeah, Valentine's a lot of fun. But we sit there and we audition right there. And I remember we were out in the lobby way waiting to be called in. So there were about 30 or 40 of us, and most everybody got used as an actor. And I did like 5 different short films. No clue where they are. These are guys that have gone on to do other things, moved out of California or moved up to New York, to either start their own production company or work for a production company. And it was a lot of fun doing that. And I went there I did stage and theater up there and speech stuff. So, both my parents, my mom's from New Hampshire, my dad was from Rhode Island, and we were all born out in Florida. And then we moved up here in '75 from Florida I grew up down in Fort Myers. I mean, I grew up here, but that was where my childhood was. It was basically down in Florida, down in Fort Myers on the Gulf Coast, and we moved up here. So, hey Ruth, how you doing? I'm I am happy people are coming to see this. come come and see me. So yeah, I've um yeah, I don't know if you can see some of my silicone heads are right here. One of my vampires. If you ever watch Underworld, it's based on one of the vampires from Underworld. You know, one of my goblins over here, but I've got a whole slew of heads down below here next to my desk. That's great. Are you from this area, Ruth? I'm just seeing all kinds of people that either I've run into you or we've talked or something. You know, I always see your comments on our videos. I really appreciate that, and we're happy to share the content with you guys and just get the word out, guys. We want to get this. I want to do this full time. It's not feasible, of course, right now. I'm not even close. But it's something that I really want to do full time for you guys and whoever our future subscribers. Yeah, just get the word out to them that my wife and I love doing these for you and sharing with you our experiences. Oh yeah, I do miss my father. He died very young. Yeah, that male emotion is really cool. Um, I'm just watching everybody's messages go by. I'm trying to answer or respond to your comments. But yeah, my dad died very young. He was only 52, and we were just thinking about that. He would have been gone 40 years ago. Um, Last year. Yeah, he died in August of 1984. So he'd be in his 90s now, like 92, I think, 93. So yeah, I was 17 going on 18 when he had passed away. If you guys didn't know this, my dad, he was in television and news, and he was actually responsible for saving the Billy Graham home. Your dad passed 2 years ago. Yeah, it's time flies by, Robert. It does. It's. I know he's there, and he's always been there with me in spirit. I felt his presence. You know, he's always here with Connie and I. Um, but he had saved the Billy Graham home from being demolished. And what's weird about that whole deal is that when they moved it, the last couple of years of his life, he did work at PTL, and we were very appreciative of that. And um, he passed away out there while on the job when he was showing the home. It was still being under construction, and but the weird story about that, years later, of course, they built the Billy Graham Library. And when we went out there, none of them knew who my dad was, and we've got plenty of history, videos, documentation, my dad's involvement with saving the home. Yeah, it was teenage. It was tough. You lose them very young, and yeah, because I mean, I had my older brothers, but it's nothing like having your dad. My dad and I were very close. I mean, my whole family was really close, and so he and I had to explain that to them out there, and they finally and some of the people remember my dad and did remember, but most of them who were actually working at the home never knew that. And my brother Chris, he lives in Conway, South Carolina, down near the beach. He's got all the videos and all the documentation of my father saving the home. And there's some areas where you can get on YouTube and find them um, um, about that. So about the home, and I've got pictures. My mom actually replaced my dad when dad passed away. She went in and kind of filled in because she knew what was going on, and she was very tight knit with that whole deal about the home and everything. And I could tell you some funny stories about PTL, but anyway, I tell you the coolest kid. If you ever watch, if you know, because Jim Baker and Jay, his son Jay, every time I see Jay, and I remember he was a little boy, and he'll always remind me if I haven't seen him in a while since since Tammy passed away, but Jay said, you taught me how to skateboard. I was a big freaking skateboarder back in the day. I was a big Bones Brigade guy, Powell Peralta, Lance Armstrong, Tony Hawk, all those guys, Mike McGill, all those guys. And I actually brought them to Fort Mill at Ike's Skate Shop. I don't know if you ever heard of that place back in the 80s, but I brought the Bones Brigade, Stacy Peralta's team, here to do a show. And Caballero, all those guys, I took them out to PTL and we went skating. So little Jay was out there, and I took him out there with us, so he got to meet all the skaters and watch them skate. And yeah, PTL was the place to skateboard. We used to just tear it up there near the water park back in the day. It was a blast. So he reminds me of that. You remember you taught me how to skateboard? Yeah, Rodney Mullen. Yeah, Rodney Mullen was awesome. He was real quiet though. We took him. It was funny. He wanted to go skate by himself. They were staying at the hotel near Carowinds. A friend of mine, we took Rodney. He said, I want to go a place quiet. He didn't want to go out to PTL and stuff like that. There was a Food Lion we took him to, of all places. It's a Food Lion parking lot. I'm trying to remember where it was. I want to say it was either off of 49 or down off of, it might have been off of 51. But we took him there, and we just sat there and watched him skate. Rodney was tearing it up. And yeah, Rodney was very quiet. He's still that way nowadays when I've seen him in interviews. And it was fun years. I miss the 80s because it was a great time growing up in the 80s. And the music just, it was just awesome. Do I watch Tampa Jay? I watch Tampa Jay once in a while. He's grown quite a bit. He's doing it full time now, from what I understand. But yeah, he lived down in of course Tampa. It was funny because he was posting things on Facebook. We're distant relatives, believe it or not, of John Olden. He was came over to Mayflower. He's related to him too. My family is too, because the Seaberries were married into the family eons ago. Back in that period, and that's my dad's side of the family, Seaberry, on his mother's side. And John Olden's family married into with the Seaberries. I'm kind of trying to see everything popping up. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. And he was talking about when he went up there to Plymouth and stuff, talking about how he was related to him. My brothers and I and my family, our names are in the book at the John Olden home. If you go there, they keep a track of the family members of John Olden. Well, I sent him a message that, well, we must be related, because if you're related to John Olden, he's like I think he's like my 10th grandfather. Now, yep, I saw that where he's moving to Tennessee. I'm sure some YouTubers happy about that. I don't know. I'm sure I'm sure he's going to be fine. He's going to do a real good job. I love that area too. If I had an opportunity, I'd probably move up there as well in that area. I just love the Smoky Mountains in that area. So he was here in Charlotte. He did Carowinds a couple weeks ago too. I saw that I'm trying to get the thing to come up. There we go. But yeah, if you get on, my dad worked for ABC. So if you get on, like I said, if you get on Facebook, if you watch the community page of us, I'll post pictures once in a while when I was younger. Tennessee Jay, yeah, exactly. Or was it Gatlinburg Jay? I don't know. Sevilleville Jay. Hey Gary. Oh, I appreciate it, man. You're gonna love Dan Nicholas Park. That is an awesome place to go to. So you need to invite me over and have some of that pig. Anyway, so if you're gonna start posting stuff like that, you gotta let me know, and send me a message when I come over there and get some barbecue or some pig roasted pig. I love roasted pig. It's funny, here in Charlotte, I grew up around, we had a lot of Greek families around us, and they always roasted the pig around Easter. Yeah, I know, right? Give me your address. Don't do it here though. But yeah, all the Greek families around Easter time, they'd have the roasted pigs. and we go to house and have roasted pig. It was awesome. Yeah, I saw that about Rip Roaring Rapids. I was the last video I did. I stopped right there at the Palladium, looked behind it. It was gone. But from what I understand, the rumor is they're going to do a log flume ride, which they need badly. They need at least two good water rides. They get the little kid one that's about to open. But I've heard where Nighthawk, they're going to do a lazy river there ride, which I think would be cool. Yeah, just to cool off. Real nice family ride. But yeah, a lot of my friends that I grew up with were Greek, and a lot of the Greek families own a lot of restaurants, and they'd always have dad. They always invite dad to come over and bring the family and eat. So one of the most popular Greek-owned restaurants in Charlotte is Copper Kettle, and I grew up with the Carnazes family, and Sarah and I are still very close. And they had a fire there a couple months ago. They're still rebuilding, and they had a fire in the kitchen. So if you ever have a chance to go to Copper Kettle, go there. It's an amazing restaurant. Bryson City, I love Bryson City. Did you see statue? Did you see the my video in Bryson City? Had you watched that at all? I love that town. Great little town. Had a good time there. I was actually going to go see my cousin. My uncle had passed away. Her dad had passed away, and so I did like 5 videos on the way to Cleveland, Tennessee, where she lives, and so yeah, so I stopped by Bryson City and a few other towns on the way up there. I love that area. Kind of you go past through Nantahala, stuff like that, the river there and everything to cross over. That's been a few years ago. That was way before the storm hit. Yeah, that's the funny thing, Nate. Yeah, we were there the same day, but I didn't even see him because I had no clue. I may have seen him, but I didn't know it was him. Yeah, because that's just the way it is. I'll Jacob, the carpetbagger and I have covered several events together, and we didn't know each other were there at all, like the Bigfoot festivals. I'd be there and he'd be there, but there's just so many people, or it's just out of your mind. You're not thinking that. That's like seeing things right in front of your face when I'm filming, and I don't see it till after I film it that it was there, stuff like that. So yeah, it could be right in front of your face. You don't even realize it. So yeah, when because I saw all the students there in his video wearing the same stuff, I said, well, he must have been there the same time I was. And that's what it was. He was there at the very same time that I was there. And, oh well, it is what it is. But I'm sure we'll eventually probably cross paths, like Jacob and I probably will eventually. But yeah, when Adam, well, I shouldn't say that. I wasn't surprised when he moved back to Orlando in Celebration. But he had thought about moving to Pigeon Forge as well at one time, moving there because there's so much cool stuff up there. But I think it's good for him to actually be down there because he's near his family, and being close to them is important. So yeah, I would definitely, if I was in the same position, I would definitely want to be close to family. Especially when you're getting older, you want to be close to your family. Family's important to us. It's Connie and I, and family is, we try to keep our videos very family oriented and just keep it upbeat. And if I do have guidelines on here, it's important for me to have those, but also important for you guys to, and I think most of you understand it. It's just we want to keep a happy vibe in our videos and also in our community. And the reason I say that because yeah, exactly. The flights out of Orlando are great. Charlotte has a great, because Charlotte's about to start up their Eastern, literally going Middle East flight path. Oh, what was I going to say? Um, oh no, I was talking about my, we have certain guidelines. 'Cause I want to keep it upbeat here on, and I think most YouTubers want to, content creators want to keep it upbeat and happy. So, as far as people leaving just really negative comments, and they always have, they always say you have a thick skin, blah, blah, blah. No, I have a thick skin. It's like they have to have a thick skin of me saying bye, because it's like, we already have enough negativity in this world. I don't want you to come here and have to experience that and see that garbage on here. It's we already get deal with enough of that. So as we go on, it's like they are the ones that need to have a tough skin, because if they all of a sudden they get on there and they can't get on there, um, yeah, have a tough skin. And so it's I was born with certain values. I'm sure you guys were too, and just be good to each other. Be nice, happy, do what you can. I mean, there's gonna be bad days. There's gonna be negative situations in your life. That we know that already, but why add more to it? So we want to just just have a lighter time, have a good time. See, that's what's cool. I love that too. Yeah, old towns with beautiful structures like that. I hate when they tear them down. Unfortunately, Charlotte has done a lot of that. There's been some beautiful buildings downtown, which are now the glass skyscrapers. Um, yeah, statue. You need to go to the Bigfoot Festival because they're freaking awesome. You don't have to be a believer in Bigfoot. You can go and have a good time. That's what it's about. Just having a good time with people, because they're a great crowd. They have a really fun time, and they're a lot. Most of them are like me. We're like minded. Um, I don't have. What do they say? I'm an optimistic skeptic. In other words, I think I'm pretty sure there's something, but I can't put my finger on it. That's out there. So I think there's definitely something out there, because I've had my personal experiences with it and stuff like that. So yeah, but yeah, um, there's just what's funny is on YouTube, um, Connie and I watch this very unique stuff. We like watching. I don't know if you ever watched Bondi, the guy who does the magnet fishing. He's a lot of fun to watch. He's from Australia, but he lives. I think he lives in Holland or up near Amsterdam. And there's a guy on there right now. We just watched a couple recent episodes from North Carolina, and the guy from North Carolina was with him in Holland doing magnet fishing. And he's got a YouTube channel. If you watch it, if you go to Bondi's site, it's BONDI, I think. Just type in Bondi magnet fishing or whatever, and he should come up on YouTube. He's really funny to watch. But the guy from North Carolina, his YouTube channel is really successful. He's doing a great job, because what he does is he goes and looks for missing people. In other words, he has the equipment and to find people, like their cars have gone into rivers and stuff like that. And that's what he does for his YouTube channel, is helping those find missing people. And most of the time, of course, a lot of times it's been in rivers and lakes, and he finds the cars that they were in that crashed. They were last seen in their car somewhere. And a lot of these police departments or rescue places don't have the equipment to find these people. And I think it's real interesting. We'll watch a lot of that too. And we watch. I've had people ask me who we watch. We watch Tim Tracker, of course. My nephew's actually friends with Tim, because my nephew is one of the main designers for the mazes at Halloween Horror Nights. He lives here in Charlotte, but he goes down quite a bit, down to Florida, down to Universal. He just got back from Epic Universe. He did the whole thing down there, the whole tour. And so I remember one day we were out to lunch, and he was texting Tim, and he told him about my channel. And this is a while back. That's when I first started out. But yeah, he does a lot of design stuff, and we'll watch Tim. We'll watch Super Enthused. We watch her. Of course, Adam, Carpetbagger. Who else do we watch? Bondi. We also watch Nate, which is Page and Mr. Morrow. I don't know if most of you guys know Page and Mr. Morrow. He's fun to watch. He's a really jolly guy. He's fun to watch. He's come a long way too in his YouTube channel, and he's done some great content, and it's been a lot of fun watching him. Yeah, Jordan the Lion. Yeah, Days with Jordan the Lion. We watch him, and he was actually in the area. He was passing through. Oh, okay. Red Rose Festival. Went to Red Rose. What was that about? Oh, it was a small car show. Okay. Yeah, World of Micah. I got to tell you a funny story about Micah. I don't know Micah personally, but this is hilarious. So when Adam the Woo and I, we've done like we've done 3 videos together. It's been a while now, but because Adam hangs around Micah all the time. So if you ever watch, go back when Adam first moved into his house in a celebration, and he's giving a tour of his house. Well, anyway, my mom acquired Tammy Baker from PTL. You know, she's passed away and everything, but my mom and her were actually good friends, and Tammy gave her. We got a bunch of Tammy stuff like statues that Tammy gave to Mom. Well, there's just 2 bookends of ducks. Well, Tammy had given those to Mom. It was in her office, and she was closing shop pretty much as when PTL was going out. And Mom was helping her move out of her office at PTL. And so Mom acquired a few things from Tammy. Well, anyway, these bookends, duck bookends, I had them sitting around the house for a long time. And I knew Adam really enjoyed the history of PTL. He's really into that. So I was like, well, I need to give these to Adam. So the day we were shooting at PTL, walking around, I had the bookends with me, and I gave them to Adam. So when he's giving the tour of his home, there's this bookcase in his kitchen, and he was giving a tour, and then the ducks were there on his bookcase, and he made a shout out to me. Hey, I got these from Todd Venture, and they were gifted to me, and they belonged to Tammy Baker. And I was like, whoa, that's pretty wild. I started getting texts of people sending me messages that they saw the video and Adam mentioned me in it, and I thought that was really cool. Well, a friend of ours watched that video, and his daughter, and he knows, and he sent me a message, because I think a few days later, Micah and Adam had done a video together where they were at the park or something. So Micah used to work at Disney World, or at the Disney Studios. His daughter, which is a friend of mine too, they were roommates for like 3 years in Orlando. They worked at Disney together. And he said, my daughter lived with Micah. They were like roommates. They didn't have a relationship or anything. They were just roommates. It was like there was like 4 people living together in an apartment in Orlando. And I thought that was cool. And then one day I sent Micah a message on Instagram, and he was like, yeah, we were roommates. I said, yeah, she's a good friend of mine. I've known her for like almost 20 years. And he was like, whoa, that's pretty cool. So that was our little Micah story. So when I see Micah, I was like, I always think of my friend and them being roommates, and they worked the movie ride together. And so she had pictures of all of them working at the movie ride at Disney. And so that's why you always see them talking about the movie ride. And just, I remember riding that was a great ride. I don't know if you guys ever rode the movie ride. That's definitely something I reckon. It was just an amazing ride. I wish it was still there. Yes, it is a small YouTube world, that is for sure. So it's just fun stuff like that. And what's funny is I'll run into other YouTubers. I have never run into other YouTubers before I started the channel, and now it's crazy that either they recognize me or I recognize them. Um, and we've developed friendships over time. So it's pretty cool running to people that are sharing the same experience that you're sharing. Um, because I know if my dad was alive, and one of my sister-in-laws had said this, because she's happy that I'm doing this, and she said I'm kind of that dad would be proud of me that I've taken the reins of entertaining people like this, and because he was a journalist, he was a reporter, he had his own talk shows, um, he traveled a lot and did videos, or not videos. Back then they had the 16 millimeter film, so he always had one handy. I remember going to Europe. Went over to England, and he had his camera with him, and so when he got back, he processed that to news for the news on his little travel vlogs back in the day on the news, kind of showing people the experience, and that's kind of how I inherited that as well. Was watching him do it, and I was like, and I saw what it would do to people. It brought smiles to their faces, and they would come up to him, and we'd be out like at the mall or something, and they would thank my dad for bringing them closer to some place that they couldn't get to, like going to England or Scotland, like we did, or even just going on little vacations. He would film it, and I think that's where I got a lot of that from, and sharing that with you guys. And I said, well, I need to do that. And with YouTube being such a great media for that, and being able to do that, that was important. Obscure Buildings, Murals, Restaurant. They shouldn't. They should be out there with you, going to those, because that's history. And just seeing the workmanship, especially in the old buildings, and the stained glass. I can hear Connie opening the door. She's wanting to see where I'm at in the video. She keeps on cracking the door open. She needs to come over here and say hi to everybody. Oh, you do drag them along? Okay, that's good. Yeah. So, just they've got to experience that and enjoy that. Get out of the house, and that's why we love going to the mountains and sharing that with you too, because it's important for us to bring that to you guys, because we know people who literally can't get out of the house because of health reasons, things like that, and they'll send me messages that they appreciate me going to the cons, showing the vintage toys, just bringing memories back to them, the nostalgia of it. That's what's important. And it's just in the cars too, the car shows. It takes energy, especially out in the heat when we go to these car shows. But I love seeing the cars. I love seeing the vintage cars, and going to like Street Side Classics, Auto Barn, Gateway, and I'll get comments about how expensive. I'm really not there to see I know some people want to know the prices. I'm not really there. I'm not worried about the cost. I know I can't afford it either. So, but I'm there to show you the car. Really, I'm really there to show you these wonderful pieces of machinery and history, like the trains. I love transportation. Just the trains, the planes, and automobiles. I love sharing that with you guys, because that's part of our history. And also it's the nostalgia of it. Just remembering what our parents drove, or our grandparents drove. The one thing that I've recently been obsessed with is collecting anything, especially toy wise, anything that was made around the time I was born, around 1966. So I'll get on and I'll look for comic books that came out the October of 1966, the month and year I was born, and add those to my collection, because they're the same age as me. So I'll collect that. And I've got a Mustang in 1966 in the driveway. It's covered up and everything. I used to show it, but my neighbor down in Florida had one. I think that's how I got obsessed with Mustangs. Um, and I knew I eventually wanted to have one. And I've had two. The other one was a '93. I had the GT 5.0 Fox body style, which was a fun car. That was the one coming up on June 7th. Yeah, I just love. The one in Taylorsville was huge, but I just didn't have time to stop by. A friend of mine went to it. I drove by it, and I was like, it was kind of close to the end of the day, but there were still like cars out there in Taylorsville at their car show. It was amazing. It was huge, and I could see from where I was. I could see a lot of the cars, very familiar cars. Um, yeah, well, I used to, Jason. I used to bring it out to the auto fair out at the Speedway. I was part of the Mustang Club, which is the largest in North America. Here in Charlotte is the largest Mustang ownership and car club in North America is here in the Charlotte area or North Carolina. Just put it that way. Yeah, there's more Mustang owners in North Carolina than anywhere in the United States or North America in general. So yeah, there's a ton of Mustang. They have the Mustang Museum, Museum, is up near the Speedway. Go check that out. I've got that video too, and they change them out quite a bit. It's ran by the owners. It's and they take donations, things like that. And I've got a stack of old Mustang magazines. I need to donate to them so they can have that in their library. So I used to get my monthly Mustang magazine when I was hot and heavy into the club. I've got like 5 years worth of Mustang magazines. I need to stop by and drop those off. They're just sitting in the storage. So, but we've gone over an hour. I mean, we can continue, but I don't want to keep you guys. But let's see, might go to the Ford Car Show. Yeah, that's a great show, Gary. You need to check that out. They had they have 3 shows coming up. It's going to be the Ford, Chevrolet, and Mopar. So they cover all 3 of those. They're awesome shows. It's amazing what people bring out there. Even the tractor show that I went to was amazing. Cool, Jason. Awesome. Yeah, I love Mustangs. But yeah, the tractor museum or tractor display they put out there was very cool. They had great stuff going on where they showed you how certain tractors worked and what they did on the farm. And they had that one tractor was a cutaway, showed you how the parts work in a tractor. That was really cool. And the guy told us they bring that all over the place, that tractor, and the kids just love it because they're amazed of how the mechanics of those work and seeing it actually in action. It educates them, and they're just fascinated by how the gears. I think it's great because the kids really get into that, and that's something they can maybe do in the future. Is become a mechanic, because trades are something that we've lost. We need to bring those back. Trades are very important, and that's what built America. And we need to bring those jobs back. And you know, that's one thing I don't like is when I go to small towns and seeing these huge factories just abandoned, just sitting there for years, just nothing going on. And at one point they produce amazing furniture, amazing clothing, just things like that. And now we shipped them off somewhere else. We need to bring those jobs back here. Now, I know the one thing that'll probably never come back is tobacco, because I remember when I moved here back in the 70s, I remember seeing all the tobacco farms. No, I didn't have it. I haven't a chance to do that either, Tim. I wish I did. There's just so much that I can, I can get to and do and schedule. And it's hard for me to predict what people want to watch sometimes. I try to get them in because I don't do this 7 days a week. I do most of my filming Saturdays and Sundays. But because I was unemployed for a while, so that's why you saw so many videos come out. And that's one thing I was going to talk about. Yes. Did you see my video in Hamlet, Christine? Make sure you check it out. There is a video of me going there. And Connie and I went in there into the Restore Depot. and they had the train museum as well. Is right there. Unfortunately, the day we went, um, the train museum, when you go inside, you couldn't get inside, but we did go inside the train depot itself. Um, so, yeah, look that up. It's a good video. Yeah, tobacco, Jason, was huge, and literally, that's that's why the taxes were so slow or so low here in North Carolina at the time, because the tobacco industry was so huge. They paid for everything, literally. I mean, the state was thriving off the tobacco. They didn't have to tax the heck out of us back in the day. Then once they started closing up, everything started going up tax wise because they lost that funding from a lot of the from the tobacco farms or from the tobacco companies. You know, all the cigarettes were made here, pretty much, and they moved elsewhere, and tons of jobs were lost. But I remember seeing you drive down, you either saw cotton one side and you saw the tobacco on the other side. That Winston-Salem area, I remember back in the day, just tons of tobacco farms just everywhere, and they're all gone now. So that's life, unfortunately. But you know, but yeah, it's amazing how much things have changed through the years. So, but watch for more stuff coming up. I've got five videos sitting on the back burner. There's one actually up right now. It just it hasn't gone live yet. It'll be live in the morning. That's the LT Toys out of Columbia. This is my third video. LT, he's an entrepreneur. He's a young guy. He's like, I think he's 17 now. He started his toy store. Started a flea market, but now this is his second location. He started, I think he was like 13 or 12 or something like that. And he's got a little toy empire now. And I met his grandmother today. She was there, and she was awesome. But it was his birthday today, and of all places, he was at Carowinds today. So I didn't see LT. He's in the last time I was there. He and his dad were in the video. Great store. So if you're ever in Columbia, be sure to check out LT Toys. It's right off of Highway 20, I think, near 277 down there in Columbia. It's not a bad drive. If you're leaving out of Charlotte, it's an hour and 28 minutes or hour and a half, give or take, when you get there. And great store. It's an old laundromat, or no, dry cleaners that they converted into a toy store. And the way it's laid out, it's great. He did a fantastic job. It's a little drive-through. And I was kidding with him. I said, you should do drive-through toys. You know, have a menu outside and, you know, put your toy of the day. You know, Transformers, whatever. Yeah, definitely, Gary, go to that. It's amazing. Even the museum, I had another YouTuber friend. He did the museum. And I watched his video, and I was like, I wish they were open the day I was there. And a friend of mine, me and Carolina Tony, he has a YouTube channel, and we were down there together, and Connie and his wife, we were down there. We did a video around Hamlet, and I actually worked on a movie in Hamlet back in '90 called Billy Bathgate, and I talk about that in the video, which they converted the town into an old small New York town, and they put all the marquees up like Saratoga, stuff like that, on the buildings. And that was I worked with Dustin Hoffman, Nicole Kidman, and Steve Buscemi. Worked on that. And I hung around Steve most of the time. I was working on that film, and that was actually one of his first big movies was Billy Bathgate. We literally had lunch together all the time. Me and some of the other. I was standing double for Steve and for one of the other actors on that film, and that was 35 years ago, about the same time. Funny story about that. That's the way I get the job for Last of the Mohicans. So when we wrapped up filming for Billy Bathgate, most of the crew, we went to work on Last Mohicans. So that's how we, with the word of mouth, they just, hey, we need these people to work here. And so I went with them up to the mountains after we finished filming there. Oh, we appreciate it. Definitely. Tony's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's out west right now. He's doing some videos out west. He and Debbie are out there filming, and Yeah, just tell your friends about us. Let's get this channel rolling. And I pray about it all the time. That's one thing I really hope for, is that we can do it full time. You know, oh, you were extra on Leatherheads? That's awesome. Yeah, I remember that being filmed in Charlotte, when downtown near the Grady Cole Center in the old football field. Did you work? Is that where you worked? Was it the old football field downtown? Yeah, but we just that's I never thought, when I first started, I didn't take this seriously. Um, yeah, definitely go see that. Oh, you were in Spencer? Okay. I do remember them filming in Spencer too. Okay. Yeah, that's a really good area, because the downtown Spencer will definitely bring you back in the 20s and 30s. That's for sure. Yeah, the building that, like Hamlet. You know, when you walk into Hamlet now, unfortunately, a lot of that place is vacant. A lot of those businesses there are no longer there downtown. It looks like a movie set, downtown Hamlet, and Spencer's kind of like that too. And the doll and toy museums there. And I did a video on that right there in Spencer. That was a lot of fun. That place is growing too. But yeah, Connie and I just want to bring this to you full time, so get the word out, and we'd really appreciate it, letting people know that we're here. And I've got a couple of my fellow YouTube friends watching right now, and their channels are slowly taking off too, which is great. Just bringing good content, family content is important, in our history, preserving our history, and letting people know, like, the small towns. And I don't really go to small towns to bring you anybody a history lesson. There's plenty to find out. I want you to see as it is, as we go, and as you would pull up into a town. Say if you go to Spencer, or if you go to Hamlet, or if you go to a lot of the small towns I've been to, just walking in through like a person just pulling in for the first time, and walking around town and finding fun little shops, like the coffee shops that I find, little toy shops, little boutiques, little restaurants. And like in Newton, it's amazing how Newton's just come a long way in the last couple of years. All the improvements they have done. If you hear that dinging, I'm getting messages. Um, uh, but yeah, next time I hope you guys don't mind me doing it on the phone, kind of looking down. And I look up, I'm looking at my computer. So I think it's really important to share that through the eyes of someone who's a stranger like me, and sharing little small businesses with you guys. Hey, Adam, let me see what you said there. Hold on one second. Um, if it works and keeps me cool, um, well, thanks, Ruth. You take care too. It's good seeing you. Thanks for stopping by. If the ride's good, um, and it cools me off, I'm trying to hold on a second. Are you talking, Adam? Are you talking about like a new water ride that they're going to put in, or because I know the rumor is, I was talking to Robert earlier, um, about the water where Ripple Rapids used to be. I think, from what I understand, they're supposed to put a flume ride back in there. Now I know they're doing the little kids water ride. Is that what you're talking about, with the shooting the water and stuff, or just something in general that they supposedly will be putting in, where either where Nighthawk was or where Rip Roaring Rapids was? Because I tell you what, the one I do miss was the one they had kind of near. It was kind of near the water park years ago, where White Lightning was a long time ago, and they put in that one big huge boat ride that carried like 30 people, and you would go up and they come around and just and everybody would sit on the bridge thing. Had they been talking about that? I hadn't. Is that something that you heard about? Because I haven't heard about that. I mean, that'd be cool if they did it. If they did a water, flume ride that was breaking records. Is that something? Is there some? Is there? Because I haven't heard that. If they do that, that'd be kind of cool. Because I think Fury wasn't Fury like the tallest Giga ride or something like that at one time. Because if they do that, I mean, they get the space to do it. There's a lot of real estate unused at Carowinds. Really, if they do that at Carowinds, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, they definitely have the space behind the Palladium to do that. There was a rumor that they might take the Palladium out. I don't know, because that's been there since the beginning. Saw many live shows there, but yeah, if they do that, that'd be kind of cool. I'm gonna have to look that up now. I didn't realize that. That'd be kind of, yeah. I think it'd be cool to do it. I hope they do it. That'd be really neat to see. Um, I think every park should. Cool. I gotta look that. Read that. That'd be cool to see that. I hope, because I know Robert, me, and some other YouTubers that we know. We're in Adventures at Rock. Sandy and Rock are good friends of mine, and we were talking about they need to have a water ride. It would get so hot out there, and I missed the log flume. I missed that. That's where the what is the Intimidator get its name changed recently for this year, but that's where it used to be. And another funny story about that. Okay, cool. Um, Connie used to work at, and I think she may have mentioned that too. When Carowinds first opened back in the '70s, she worked one of the ice cream parlors at the park out there, and I'd always tease her. I said I was probably a kid that you gave ice cream to back then. So, but she, it was kind of near the log flume ride. Is where she had her. It's kind of where the I'm just having a complete brain fart right now. What's I don't know if Robert's still there. What's the name of the big place where you go inside and eat? Help me. I think Robert's still there. If you're still there, you'll know what I'm talking about. But that's where the log flume used to be, and the ice cream parlor was right outside there. But but Nate, I am a tomato ketchup based. I'm a Western Carolina barbecue person, not Eastern Carolina. I'm not really into the vinegary barbecue sauce. I'm more in the tomato based side. So, but yeah, I just remember the park. I liked it when it was Paramount. Paramount was great. All the theme rides they had. That's one thing I wish they do too. I've talked to some people. We talk about. I would love if they had at least one or two dark rides. Just a cool place you can go in and ride and get cooled off during the hot summer. Besides getting wet, have a couple themed out. They need to do since the Peanuts are there. Charlie Brown. They need to do a fun dark ride with Charlie Brown and the gang. That would be kind of cool to see that. Be very creative and fun for the kids and family to go on a fun dark ride, and they can do a Halloween version of Charlie Brown on the dark ride during Halloween. That would be kind of cool to do that, and then do Charlie Brown's Christmas as a dark ride for Christmas time. Kind of tell the story of Charlie Brown, but in a dark ride format, so people could ride that and pretend, or think they're in actually the cartoon. That'd be great, fun theme ride to have at Carowinds. Even the other parks, since Cedar and Six Flags are together now to do a fun dark ride of the Peanuts. gang at each of those parks. Why not? So that's something we all grew up with. It was handed down. We kind of inherited Charles Schultz's Charlie Brown through the years, and get our kids. That was a family thing for us. Is watching all the Charlie Brown specials, and our Rankin Bass. You guys know Rankin Bass used to ride. Watch Santa Claus Coming to Town, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, all those cool claymation type stuff. Monster Mansion. Now, is that like Boo Blasters? Is that the one you go in? Because they have Boo Blasters at Carowinds. A shoot 'em up ride. Is it kind of like that? Because that's really the only dark ride there. I don't know if I want to call it a dark ride. I mean, it's themed and everything. You're inside, and I'm on the cusp on that one. If it's really considered a dark ride, the shoot up games like Buzz Lightyear down at Disney and stuff. I'm just let me know what you think. Is that really a? Would you consider a shoot up ride a dark ride? And I know Jacob has had a talk about this. If it was actually a dark ride, I don't know. Oh, it is a Disney style. Okay, so that's a dark ride. See, I love that. Where you just laid back. I don't want to have to shoot stuff. I just want to enjoy what I'm looking at and just enjoy the music. Even at the Haunted Mansion in Disney World, I love just sitting there and just looking for things. And I think that's one reason, because you're going to miss stuff. That's why we love dark rides, because you're going to miss stuff. You want to go on it again and just find new stuff. I mean, the Haunted House, there's stuff. I rode that for years, and every time I'd ride that ride, like at Pirates of the Caribbean, I would find new stuff every time. But I haven't been on the Pirates of the Caribbean since they changed it, and also with the Haunted Mansion. I haven't been on that since they've added some new things. The Hatbox guy, or the head in the Hatbox. Night, Nate. Talk to you soon, man. Yeah, you need to send me some of that pig. So, that sounds. I'm getting hungry, and we just ate not too long ago. We got our lottery ticket too. So if I win the lottery, I'll definitely be going full time. You'll probably see me down at Disney. So, dude, there are so many vloggers down at Disney, man. You're just inundated with vloggers. I don't know if I would do Disney. Maybe if I won 100 million, I'd probably build my own little park. I don't know. So I love really supporting the parks here. Dan Nicholas Park is definitely something you want to go to. I love the zoo here. I've had people ask me about going back to the zoo because they have that whole new section they're opening soon. It might already be open. I don't know. I need to go down to the one in Columbia too, which I love. I love zoos. Anything to do with animals. My nose is itching. Sorry, guys. Anything to do with animals. We have 7 dogs. How would you guys like to see my dogs? People always say they would love to see our dogs. So, because we love animals. We used to foster dogs. I don't know if you knew. I don't know. We may have talked about it. We fostered dogs for 10 years. It was up till about a couple of years ago we had to stop because a lot of those were foster fails. We placed over 40 dogs in the 10 years that we did. We have photos of all the dogs we found homes for. And actually Connie keeps in touch with a lot of the families of the dogs. And they'll send pictures on their vacations, going to the beach, and also keep up to date on their health. There have been a few of them have passed on, and we're just always sad. We always send them either a card or something to the family, and they're always appreciative that they found us and they adopted the dogs from us, because we have 7 dogs, and to keep fostering, it just became just difficult for us to do that. And but we just love animals. We are advocates for animal rights. And here's a funny story I'll tell you real quick, how much I love animals. Do you ever watch the commercials where the people had, that dog food they have in the fridge for their dog is in the big bag, and the person always has some sort of smart remark to say about, that's for your dog, and stuff like that. And they close the door on him, push him out of the house or whatever, and kick him out. And there's the dog and the owner. Well, back in the 80s, there was this girl that I went out with, and we had beagles. My mom had beagles, and I was still living at home. And beautiful girl, and I thought she was so sweet, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we went out to dinner, had a date. I think we went to a movie too. Went back to the house. And the beagles were there. And I do my baby talk. I still talk to my dogs that way. And then just, I love them so dearly. And so I was doing that. And she said, "What are you doing? Why are you talking to your dogs like that?" And I looked at her like, "Excuse me? These are my kids." "What do you mean?" Took her home. Last time I saw her. And, we had a great date. We got along great. Great conversation. Blah, blah, blah. As soon as you do something like that and show me that you don't have interest in animals in any way, shape, or form like that, see ya. That tells me a lot about you right there. Animals can read a person up and down. And I always trust my dogs or my cats. Dogs, for me and Connie, dogs mean the world to us. Those are our kids. Dogs just bring happiness to us. We have a shelving in the house of all our dogs have pretty much been cremated over the years. We've had dogs ever since we've been married. We're going on 30 years. This September, we'll be married 30 years. We've had so many dogs. And the cats too. They have their shelves with all the remains. They have ornate boxes, and we have all their paw prints, and each of the boxes has their collar. Yep. Well, we did have one cat with 7 dogs. Missy passed. It was my mom's cat. We inherited her. We love Missy so much. We miss her. She passed away a couple of years ago. But she would tease the dogs. It was hilarious because we have a gate between the kitchen and the dining room, so the dogs can't go up there. So she would come down and tease them at the gate. It was hilarious watching her. And but most of my dogs through the years, I've gotten along with our cats. I was just thinking about, we had one of our border collies years ago, Shiva, and we had a long hair orange cat, Tabby, and very frail, very thin, beautiful cat. And Shiva, that was our border collie's name, Shiva had a little bit of chow in her, so she was very protective of us. But she loved Pumpkin. That was his name, Pumpkin. And I was just thinking about that the other day, where Pumpkin and they would cuddle, and that would be the only cat that, yeah, they can. And Pumpkin trusted Scott or Shiva, and they would cuddle together. It'd be hilarious. And she lit her on her bed, and they loved each other, and she'd love on her. Hey, Evelyn. I didn't see you come on there. Sorry, Evelyn. How you doing? Yeah, they're pretty much, or they're little sneakers. Caesar, one of my favorite cats in the world, and I'm sure other cats have done this, where he'll get in the sink. He'll either sleep in the sink, or if I had the water going in the sink, he'd reach in there and put the water in his mouth. And he loved everybody. Even my neighbor down the street said how much she missed Caesar, because she doesn't like cats. She said Caesar was the only cat that she loved, because he was so personable. He would come up to you and greet you and welcome you in the house. Um, oh, your first cat trained your dog. That's hilarious. But I just love pet stories. And yeah, the one that got to me the most was Sky, our border collie. She was 15, and our vet said that she was pretty much a geriatric dog, because for a border collie to live that long is exceptional. She had cancer, and there's days I have my moments when I think about her, because she was such a loving dog. I mean, she loved everybody and loved children. Even our neighbors miss her, because she just would love and kiss the babies and love the babies. So, but yeah, um, so this we're at an hour and 44 minutes. Wow, I didn't know we go this long, because there's 14 people. I've had up to 20 people in the house here. That's awesome. And like I said, I hope my ceiling fan's not making you guys dizzy or anything. So yeah, they were all rescue except for one. Um, yeah, all of our rescues, because like I said, we foster, so most of them were foster fails. And but yeah, Sky was an amazing dog. Yeah, it still gets me every now and then when I think about her. And but there's always that one animal that you have, one furry. I said animal, but one furry kid that you have that stands out, that you just remember having just amazing experiences with. And we used to take her to the sheep contest at Rural Hills. They'd have the sheep contest, and all the border collies would be out there on the sheep, herding the sheep and everything. And she'd sit there and she'd watch, and she wanted to get out there, because it was like, it's natural for them to do that. And I mean, she used to herd our dogs. So if Connie went out there and called the dogs, she made sure they all got in. So Sky would help her, and she trained the other dogs. She would literally be their mom and train them how to behave. If they misbehave, she'd let them know they're misbehaving for mama. Not for me too much, but for Connie. Yeah, you do what mama says. But Sky was an amazing border collie. They're super intelligent, super friendly. They're a great family dog. So, yeah, even now, it gets to me when I think about her. So, yeah, I've had people. I'll probably get them on one of my. I have 2 rat terriers, and Rocky is the oldest out of all of them. I think he's about 15 now, and we think he has a little bit of dementia going on. So, I hope you don't mind me talking about my dogs. So, I know you guys have animals too. Most of you do, and they're like my kids. I don't mind talking about bragging about them. I love them. But yeah, the ones that have passed on, they've all been cremated. They have their own special area in the den, and on their shelves, all beautiful ornate boxes, things like that. So yeah, I've had dogs all my life. Even when I was little, we had cats and dogs. I grew up with them, and they're just special for us. Because Connie and I, we don't have human kids. We have furry kids. We didn't have any children, so we got enough nephews and nieces. That's fine by us. So it also gives us time to do things. That's the only thing, though. The only drawback when you have 7 dogs, you can't. If you send them to finish, to be boarded or something, it can cost you some money. So, especially when you have 7. Oh, does he? Yeah, it's amazing. I loved watching her herd them in. It was hilarious watching Sky herd the dogs in. It's crazy. That's one thing I miss about her. And she put them in their place. If they were misbehaving, she let them know. She was like, she was the alpha, and she made sure they were listening to her and paying attention. But guys, I love you guys, and thank you for coming by and saying hello. This is the first time I've been live. I'm hoping to do more of these, and we appreciate you helping out the channel and stuff like that. Yeah, thanks, Gary and Christine, all you guys. I can't see all your names. I can only see as you post. But yeah, we love you guys. We appreciate your support, and when I say that, I mean that. It's to take your time and watch us. It's definitely very special to us that you guys take your time to see us. Thanks, Brian. I hope to see you soon. Yeah, and like I said, if we ever run into each other, just come up to us. You know. Thanks, Evelyn, for stopping by. And yeah, stay tuned. We did another toy video. You know, I'm going to do those because they're fun. I just love the nostalgia of it. It's LT Toys and Columbia. We did 3 videos today. Connie didn't go with me, and she stayed here in Charlotte and did some things here. So yeah, she couldn't be too far from home today. So I went out and did those. And then tomorrow I won't be shooting. Tomorrow we're bringing the car in. Well, we get 2 cars. I could use her car, but I got to bring my car in to get a checkup. All right, guys, you take care, and we will see you soon. And stay tuned. It's coming up. The next video, LT Toys. All right, guys. Bye-bye.